Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly divine the word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wagwa. And what I want to go into, the title is, For This Is Your Wisdom in the Sight of the Nations. All right. And it's a paraphrase from Deuteronomy 4, and I want to get that. Let's start there. Deuteronomy chapter 4, starting at verse 5. It says, Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. All right, because we already know who was given the laws, the statutes, all right, the commandments, the Israelites, all right, given, from the Heavenly Father through Moses, and we was going into the land, okay? Verse 6, it says, Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, man. Let me read that again. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, all right? And that's why I want to get this. That's where I get the title from. I just shortened it. But the reason I'm doing this lesson is because it was really inspired by me. One thing when you come into the truth, it's one thing to hear about some things, but it's another thing to go through them. And that's just in life, period. Okay. The Lord, you will understand why the law, statutes, and commandments was good for us when the Lord put you through things, when you see things, meaning how our people are in a lower state, all right? And not just, because we're in a punishment, but you see, like, let's take the so-called black man and woman, for example, all right, starting with the men, all right, we are royal people, okay? But we don't look so royal. What do I mean by that? When you see the average black man in his 20s, even 30s, 40s, even some in their 50s, but, you see a lot of sagging. Jake really never want to grow up, for the most part. Not every man, all right? But when you see the attire that we wear, it makes us look less royal versus a man who's well put together. He have his pants up on his behind. His clothes are ironed. And don't mean you got to be, wearing polo or nothing like that, but just putting yourself together, man. It doesn't matter what you wear, it's how you wear it. Cause I done wore stuff from the thrift, and hey, it looked good as if you was wearing some Versace or something. Why is that? Because my clothes are ironed, they're clean. My pants is up, my shirt is on. And how you walk about, man. Okay, how you walk about. Scripture speak about that. Matter of fact, let me get now other scriptures coming to mind. Oh man, I just had one. First let's get this. Because I spoke about how we are royal people. So Jeremiah 2:21 says, Yeah, I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. All right. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? That's because we transgressed the laws. All right. That's how we became a strange vine unto the Lord, man. We were planted, man. We were planted to be noble. Salakia, we were planted to be noble. But when you look at our people, we don't look so noble. And we as a whole, we don't look like a wise people. Why? Because we transgress. We don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, which will make us wise. That's why Deuteronomy 4 and 6 says, what? Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Right now, our nation look like the unwise. Like we don't have no understanding. All we understand is evil. We wise at doing good. The scriptures speak about that. Wise to do evil. All right. And that's what the majority of you got YN culture, thought culture. All right. But sticking to the men, you know, when you see certain cultures like the East Indian, even certain Africans, and they have on what's called agbadas and things and tobes and things, they have a more royal look, okay? Versus us, you know, you got some sagging jeans on with some damn Crocs skinny jeans on with a damn Pooh Shiesty on. Nigga with some nappy ass dreads, smelling like weed, psycho babbling a rap song up and down the street. That shit don't look royal. That's why a lot of people don't take the so-called black man serious, man. All right? Because he don't look wise. He don't look like a wise and understanding person. He don't resemble a leader. It's like a little boy. All right? Then our women as well, all right? They swear they queens and goddesses, but a queen don't show everything. A queen, a royal, and really your princesses. A princesses wouldn't be showing her ass and titties for all men to see. You don't look, of course, men like that. It look appealing to the eyes, but you're dressed like a whore. You can't be a queen and dress like a whore, all right? You can't be twerking and say you're a queen or a goddess. You can't wear fake hair, eyelashes, nails, makeup, caked up, and you say you're a goddess. A goddess don't wear fake hair. A goddess is no such thing as that. But I'm just putting it in layman's terms. A goddess don't wear fake hair. A goddess don't wear fake eyelashes. Fake. All I remember Remy Ma had that song, fake. All right? Fake booties, fake titties. And you're a goddess, though. Cut it out. That makes you look appealing, all right? It make men want to F you, but nobody's rushing to marry the thought. Nobody's rushing to marry the girl that twerks, all right? That don't look royal. When you see certain women out of Africa, all right, Saudi Arabia, and, you know, where the culture is, the women is dressed, that they have a more royal look, okay? They wearing their real hair. They wear less makeup. All right, real eyelashes, they have a more royal look than the so-called black women. The daughters of Zion don't have royal looks. They know how to dress scantily clad and get attention, but they don't have a royal look. It's a whole different look when a woman is dressed, you know, fully clothed and she got her hair wrap on and, you know, she got her nice perfume on and you could tell she has class about herself. All right, she has a more royal look. But see, this world is going to pass away. In the next world to come, our women won't be dressed as such. Our men won't be dressed as such. All right, we'll be under the new covenant and the laws will be written in us. All right. And again, just seeing our people and going through things, it shows you even like how our people rob each other, kill each other. All of that, man. All right? Transgressing the law. All right? This is why nobody want to live around so-called black people. Why? Because it's going to be trash. It's going to be, you have no consideration for your neighbors. You up all type of night, banging loud music. All right? You standing around the complex or around the neighborhood smoking, selling all type of drugs. All right, women walking around, booties out, titties out, men walking around with their backsides out because they sagging. Then you can see a gun, you know, walking around with a ski mask at 80 degrees outside. This is the condition of our people, man. This is why nobody want to stay around Jake. That's why whenever a Jake who's well-to-do, the first thing he do, he pack up, he move out where Esau at. You know, where Elam or Moab and where these other nations at, where it's a mixture. You might, you know, they don't stay in a predominantly so-called black neighborhood. Why? Because you can't have nothing. All right? Because somebody going to want to take it. They're going to get jealous. They want to rob you and do all of the madness to you, man. All right? But and I'm pretty sure you brothers and sisters can see it. All right? Going back to Deuteronomy 4:7. It says, for what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh unto them? All right. The Lord turned his face from us, man. All right. He turned his face from us, and this is why we in the condition we in. All right, but he's bringing us back through starting with Yahweh Shai. All right, and even getting his word. All right, in its purest form. It says, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for. Verse 8, and what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I said before you this day? This is what's going to make the kingdom pop, because not only is it going to be built up in the precious stones and, the golds and everything going to return back to, the earth, the air, the water is going to return back to purity, but how we're going to be looking in the kingdom is going to be royal, man. From our bodies to the attire we wear, because we're going to have the best of the best. But you ain't going to see a nigga sagging, or you ain't going to see, a chick with some Daisy Dukes on in the kingdom. All right? When the nations look at us, they going to be like, man, look at them. Because if you was to go over in certain areas in East India and you see the men and women walking around. No, let's go to Saudi Arabia. A lot of people go to these chicks that's entertainers. They go over there and what they do. They can't wear the attire that they wear over here in Babylon the Great. You see them dressed up. They got on the garment down to their feet. They got to cover up. Why? Because they going according to their customs of the Quran, which really, all that stems from the scriptures. But the men over there have set down the law. The law of the land is the Quran, and they make everybody who come over there follow it. Well, that's going to be so across the galaxy. The law, statutes, and commandments is going to rule the galaxy. Not just the planet Earth, it's going to rule the planet Earth and beyond. So everybody going to have to follow suit. And when you don't, well, you know what's going to happen when you don't follow suit. All right. Now I want to go from here to 1 Corinthians, right? Chapter 6, starting at verse 12, because another thing why you see the law, statutes, commandments, and really it's the scriptures in its entirety. The Holy Bible with the Apocrypha, that's really the law. The scriptures in its entirety, man, because everything was inspired by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the writings of Paul, and when you go into Ecclesiasticus and all the wisdom of Solomon is, that's really inspired by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. Okay, and it's practical knowledge, and it's certain things in there that you follow that can help you on your day to day. Now I want to get 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. It says, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power in me. Yeah, so like me, I'm trying to make a commitment for the rest of the month, all right, after, to stop drinking, all right? Because brothers talk about drinking a lot. And it's not that I get drunk and start wilding out or nothing. When I drink, I'm at home, I listen to some music. I might kick back, eat some eat some food with the wine. But I notice, I don't want to be brought under the habit, all right? Even though I'm not doing nothing wrong, I'm in my own home, I don't drink and drive, and I chill out, I go to work. It's not making me miss nothing, Sometimes you might have a 1 cup too many where you wake up and you be like, dang, but it's nothing where I'm earling or nothing like that. But it's me just keeping my head clear, because everything is a balance. Yeah, I can have wine every night, but it might not be expedient, because it can become a dependent to now where you need wine to go to sleep. See? And this is why I'm like, all right, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it go to all right, have me a cup, chill. Have me a cup, chill till I chill out. However I do, I prayed upon it. And this is something that I want to do for a month. All right, just to fall back and have my head clear. And the time that I might sip and get your little buzz on, that's time I could be reading, studying, doing a lesson. All right. Let me read it again. 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. Let's go into that word expedient. Okay. When you go into the word expedient, matter of fact, let me do this. No, I'm good. I just get it right here.
Strong's G 4851. Sum ferro.
All right. And it says to bear, to bring together, to bear together at the same time, to carry collectible. All right. Verse number 3 say to help be profitable. All right. Every just because you can drink wine every day don't mean it's going to be profitable for you. All right. Let me read that in the NLT. It says, you say I'm allowed to do anything, but not everything is good for you. Yeah, wine, if you're doing liquor. All right, no brother should be smoking unless you like just came into this thing a day or a week ago and you got to kick the habit. But if you've been in this for like a year, you shouldn't be smoking. You should already kick the habit. I know it's hard because I kicked the habit. When I first came in the truth, I used to smoke. And then the Lord put the spirit on me just to stop. All right. Whatever addictions you may have. All right. Because you can do them don't mean you should be doing them, or whatever things that you into that could become a dependent. All right. It says, and even though I'm allowed to do anything, I must not become a slave to anything. Right. We can't be slave to the bottle, man. We can't be slave to porn. We can't be slave to eating too much, eating junk food and whatever it may be, man. We can't be a slave to these things. As a matter of fact, while we're speaking about eating, all right, and this is why the scriptures reign supreme, and this is why, again, this is going back into why, you can see why, the longer you be in the truth, you can see why the Lord gave us these instructions, and it's wise to follow them. All right, Ecclesiasticus chapter 31, starting at verse 20, it says, sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. All right. He riseth early, and his wits are about him. But the pain of watching and choler and pangs of the belly are with an insatiable man. All right. And that word insatiable just means not being satisfied. When you eating everything, you had chicken and rice. Now you got to eat steak and this, and now you eating some donuts. Now you drinking soda, and you just going too hard in the paint. Then you lay down, you can't go to sleep. Your stomach hurting. All right. Let me get this, Ecclesiastes 31, and that's another thing. Diet is important. We got a dietary law, man. We can't eat anything we want. No, we're under grace. We're not under the law per se, but I mean. Does that mean you just, all right, I'm about to scarf some pork? All right. No, it's a reason why the Lord gave us these laws, the dietary law. It's a reason why you shouldn't be eating a pig. It's a reason why you shouldn't be eating a damn cat, a dog, It's a reason why you should be eating fish with scales and fins on them. It's a reason why you shouldn't be eating crab legs, oysters. It's a reason. It's just not to be there and be cute. All right, Ecclesiastes 31 and 25, it says, show not thy valiantness in wine, for wine hath destroyed many. Yep. All right, what they call liquid courage. The furnace proveth the edge by dipping. So doth wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness. Wine is as good as life to man if it be drunk moderately. All right, if it be drunk moderately. Okay, what life is then to a man that is without wine? For it was made to make men glad. All right. Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. Yes, there's nothing wrong. Like I said, I like putting on some jazz, sipping on some yan. You might have some frankincense, or you might have good incense. You kick back. Hey, I love doing that, man. But it can turn into some addiction because it feels good. When you come home from work, you might be like, let me give me a bottle, let me do this. And it's okay, but I feel like, for me, I want to chill back, man. All right, that time when I do that, I could be putting into reading and studying. That's one of the goals that I'm trying to do. All right, do that less, and that time put it into the ministry. All right. And then, go have me a drink, chill. And then back, it ain't got to be an every night thing. All right. It could be, all right, I'm off. I'm chilling. I ain't had a drink in about 2-3 weeks. Give me a little bottle or something, be at that pace. Or it could be like, all right, I drink a little yan every week. This is my day to have my little yan. You might have 2 days, whatever. But it shouldn't be, because every day it can become a dependent. You could become a slave to it. All right. It says, verse 28, wine measurably drunk and in season, bringing gladness of heart and cheerfulness of the mind. But wine drunken with excess, maketh the bitterness of the mind with brawling and quarreling. Yup. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend. It diminishes strength and maketh wounds. How many people been drunk and then got killed, got beat up? How many people, got drunk, said something wrong, and that relationship with that person ain't never been the same? All right. Verse 31, rebuke not. Oh, no, that's the point. All right. It said it's diminishes strength. Yeah, because when you too drunk, you ain't got your wits about you. Nigga, you be drunk talking smack, he get knocked out. And maketh wounds. Yeah. All right. You could say the wrong thing that cut deep to somebody. And now you sober up. And now you apologizing, but that person still remember what you said. And they know it was the truth because you was drunk. A person telling the truth when they drunk, they gonna tell you the truth. All right. That's why in verse 26 it said, the furnace proves the edge by dipping, so do wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness. Yeah. People get that liquor, that wine in them, or beer, and then they start speaking their mind for real. And so a person really know, especially if that person's sober and you drunk and you saying things and you spilling it all out and you cut deep. Well, the next day when you return, that person might be like, all right, I get it, you was drunk, but I'm cool on you. All right. So you can cause a wound in a relationship and it could be irreparable, man. All right. So this is why, we was given these this wise counsel, man, this wise knowledge. All right. This is why, man, because these things happen. Okay. These things have been tested and proven, all right, by our forefathers, and they gave us the game, man. All right, they gave us the game, and being a wise person, you will listen and implement these things in your life. All right, this is one of the tasks for us in this life, man, is to implement the scriptures in our life, not just to teach and not just to listen, but to implement. All right, that's the biggest task. All right, because you can teach, you might be a good teacher, but you might not be implementing. The scriptures talk about that. Let me get that. Ecclesiastes 37:19, it says, there is one that is wise and teaches many. All right, so you can be a good teacher. You can have a good following. I mean, this has been proven where you see men in the ministry, they get ousted. They was in the ministry for a number amount of years, and then, but they wasn't implementing the scriptures. It says there is one that is wise and teacher many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. Why? Because he is not implementing what they say. He's not practicing what he's preaching. All right, he's not practicing what he's preaching, and that's what we gotta become, man. We gotta practice. That's what we gotta do. We gotta practice what we preach. All right, start. And this lesson is inspired by me, I say, because these are things that I'm working on, going to continue to work on, and I just put these lessons out here for brothers and sisters who I know is going through the same thing. A lot of us, we all going through the same thing. So, Lord willing, is edifying and exhorting. All right, for you to, you might have had in your mind you want to stop something, or you want to start something better, maybe a better diet, maybe you want to stop drinking, maybe you want to stop staying up late, maybe you want to eat less, things of that nature. Maybe this the lesson for you to kick you into gear. All right. So, I just wanted to bring this out, Lord willing. It was edifying to the next lesson. Shalom.